Hello, my name's Paul Ricketts and I used to be a stand-up comedian. Now all I've got is the memories of when I used to travel the country, sometimes internationally, bringing joy, mirth and humour to the multitudes. With petrol £1 a litre, I've got a full tank and nowhere to go apart from back to the supermarket where I bought the fuel in the first place. And the two things that I miss most about live performance, obviously the opportunity to steal toilet roll and looking at audiences. I haven't seen an audience or heard laughter in 8 weeks. Weeks. Sorry about that echo. I must have left the door open. Anyway, welcome to my home and welcome to Paul Ricketts, not live in London. So welcome to my home here in Beckenham, London, which is also in Kent at the same time. I'm not a Londoner. I was brought up in a place called Bedford, which never gets a round of applause in any comedy club, not even in Bedford. And for those of you that don't know where Bedford is, I have to say the three worst words in the world. It's near Luton. And for those of you that think, well, Luton, that's London, isn't it? No, it isn't. Nobody has ever said, I'm going off to make my fortune in Luton. Dick Whittington and his cat, they didn't get to the Arndale Centre in Luton and said, that's close enough. And to be honest, I've been pretty inactive over the last 8 weeks, to the point that the fitness app on my iPhone thinks that I'm in a coma. So now I take it with me when I go to wash my hands just to increase my step count. And for most of us, every morning has been like this. But for me, this isn't Groundhog Day. I didn't get up at that time in the morning even before the lockdown. But this is a time for family and friends. I mean, I've been getting calls, texts, Messenger, WhatsApp, Skype, Zoom, FaceTime, Insta, and emails from some people who I've been avoiding for years. And one thing is clear, by talking to all of them over the age of 40, they all say the same thing. They all think they've had it. They're convinced, all of them, that they've had it, and they will tell you about that 2 days to a week when they really suffered, when they had it. And I'm not against this because I think I've had it. I just like to hope that we've all had it, but in a good way. Whereas social media, that seems to be the home of the conspiracy theory, and I know plenty of people online who believe all the conspiracy theories. It's only the ones that don't excessively do recreational drugs that I worry about. And the ones that don't, well, at least their paranoia cost them nothing. My conspiracy theory is based on the big conspiracy theory about 5G, but mine is, it's all a hoax, but perpetrated by BT. Yeah, go with me here. BT have started the 5G hoax to justify people having a landline in their homes. Because let's face it, having a landline is probably one of the most irrelevant things to have in this day and age. It's almost as stupid as spending 50 quid on phone cards. The problem is, I've got a landline. And the only calls I get are basically from cold calling commercial people that are trying to get money out of me, or pension-aged family members who are calling up to tell me about sickness or death of other pension-age family members. So when that phone rings, the landline, and I pick it up and it's my mum, I have a sense of relief and frustration. I mean, on one side of it, brilliant, she's alive. On the other side of it, I know she's going to ask me, have I been involved in an industrial accident over the last 2 years? And I know she's working on commission, but she's not going to get a sale out of me. Joggers. 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 Now, some people have obviously thought that the best time to get off the sofa and to get fit is during a pandemic. So I am seeing joggers of all shapes and sizes and ages. The young ones, I don't mind so much. The ones over 40, they seem to be trying to run away from the virus as well as a midlife crisis. Joggers are everywhere, spreading the virus at top speeds of 4 to 6 miles an hour. They're on pavements and in parks, breathing heavily, running towards you. Now, I'm a bit more careful and I'm a bit more shy. And so I decided if I was going to take a run, I would rather do it in the evening when there's less people about. So that's what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks. And last Thursday, I was pounding the streets and I was able to see at first hand the wonderful, wonderful thing when people go out of their windows and start clapping and banging pans for the NHS. And it was wonderful. It was inspiring, especially because I saw that and it made me feel like I was leading the London Marathon, up until a point that someone shouted out from a window, "Hey, look, that's Mo Farah's dad." And I think that's unfair. I've actually quite a good reputation as a runner. It was only last year that I completed the London Marathon. It did take me 14 days, and they weren't consecutive days. Only 7 of them were this millennium. But, as Pierre de Coubertin, head of the Olympic movement, as he said, it's not the taking part, it's collecting the sponsorship money that counts. Will you? Yes, you will. So, how are we going to get through this whole lockdown situation? It's tough. I think we need 2 things. We need faith. We need faith. It could be religious, or it could be faith in the fact that the government authorities that are taking the measures that are going to protect us, we've got to believe in that. Second thing I think we need, and we all know it, is toilet roll. Toilet roll is important. And, I've got a whole heap of faith in my heart. And I've got even more toilet roll. So much that I've even asked a local priest to bless at least a couple of dozen packets that I had extra. And now I'm happy to offer to anyone here wonderful, double-pleated comfort, sanctified and sacred. It's how Jesus rolls. And the government has now announced its post-lockdown advice for people visiting the seaside. And you keep thinking about how can I do my little bit? And so I just had the idea. I just said to my girlfriend, you should really donate your nurse's uniform to the NHS. And she just said, it's not PPE, it's PVC. So, I used to be a stand-up comedian, but 8 weeks ago, on one dismal Friday, all my gigs got cancelled. I had to face up to it, and I had to apply for universal credit, which took 3 weeks. And on one particular day, I had to call up their helpline, and I was on there for 9 hours. 9 hours. But for those 9 hours, all I could do was listen to their hold music that was playing consistently for 9 hours, to the point that I decided to write a song to it because I was there listening to it. I ended up writing a song, and so here is my ballad of universal credit.
make a new claim, go to www.gov.uk/universal credit.
I've done that, that's why I'm waiting here.
If you have made your claim online...
Yes, I have.
...and are calling to book your first appointment...
Yes, I am.
Stay on the line.
I will do.
If you feel you still need to speak to us...
I do.
Your call will be answered as soon as possible.
Brilliant.
Or if you prefer, you can call us back later.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Our opening hours are 8 a.m.
I know.
to 6 p.m.
Till 6 p.m.
Monday to Friday.
I know. One day I'll get universal credit. I'm on the line, waiting for universal credit. Waiting away for universal credit. You've gotta wait. But
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, thank
All our
you.
lines are busy at the moment.
Are they really?
Please hold, and we'll answer your call as soon as we can.
Where do you want me to hold it? Universal credit. One day I know I'm going to fucking get it. If I wait for days and months and years, I know I'll get universal credit. As long as I wait, I know I'm gonna get it. On my infrequent trips out, I did see something that made me stop and take stock. It was this. Who knew that you could get COVID-19 hanging baskets? In one way, it's weird, but in another way, it could be just another example of this. Not so weird after all, but it did make me think about the coronavirus and the shape of it. We've been looking at lots of different representations of the COVID-19 virus ever since it was first filmed in a microscope up there, but the rest of them are just our versions of what it will look like. And there's a lot of different versions. So I thought what I might do is give you a personal top 10. Coming in last, it's simple, it's low resolution, it's the virus if it was a rich biscuit. Cheesy. Number 9, sex toy. Pour homme pour la femme. Number 8, piles. Number 7, the virus at its most child-friendly. It's all Play-Doh-y and plasticine. Stick 2 friendly eyes on it, you've got the new star of Nick Park's new movie. Number 6, the virus if you were on drugs. And when I say drugs, I mean tested vaccine. Number 5, the virus as a Hawaiian shirt worn by a 50-something man on a hot summer date with a double divorcee that he met on Plenty of Fish. Number 4, looks so good I could almost eat it. Cheesy. Number 3, classy and glassy. The sort of virus you could take home to meet your parents, but we don't recommend it. Number 2, look at them suckers. If you cough this up, it will stick to the wall. Number 1, the virus that your mum knitted and gave to you for Christmas, and then you washed it on too high a setting, and it went out of shape, and then you donated it to the local charity shop. So all I can say is thank you for watching this. I mean, without seeing an audience, I have felt incredibly lonely. I really should shut that door. Just hold on a moment. That's better. So thank you. Good night, or good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is.